I guess I don't know. That's again, that's a new field. I know that for real estate, I thought that you got to be extrovert. And I remember that first year. I remember I even told my mom on the phone that I don't think I'm in the right place. I thinking that this is not my spot because I saw that people are doing business with people they know, and I'm from Ukraine. I really don't know too many people, and when I started, my social accounts were at zeros. And I was just building that up, and I figured, oh, there's a lot of Ukrainians here, so I'll just do business with them. But that had.
Welcome to the Freedom Chasers podcast, where we bring you interviews and discussions that share the stories, successes, goals, and dreams of real estate agents and real estate investors pursuing a life of purpose and freedom. All right, guys, today we have Oleg on the show, and Oleg and his team are on track for just about 400 transactions this year. I know a lot of you are out there, including myself sometimes, that are thinking like, gosh, this market's getting a little tougher. How am I going to handle it? Oleg's like, to heck with that. We did 222 last year. We're going to double it, just about double it, and go to about 400 transactions. So to heck with the market, says Oleg, and we're going to talk a little bit about that, his strategies, what he's doing. So if you guys need to pump up your business, you're going to want to listen to this podcast. Oleg, thank you so much. Tell us, what is it that you're doing that's leading to this, a lot of transactions?
Yeah, man. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for having me. A lot of things. So it wasn't the first time, it's not my first year in the business, but I started in 2017 and just went in full time, just got my license and went in full time. That was kind of a mistake, I think. Looking back, I should have probably kept some sort of job just to pay the bills, because it was tough for probably first 8 months, even though I was putting in all of my free time and all of the time into real estate. But I think maybe like 2-3 hours a day would have been enough to do the things that are important, to lead generate, to let everybody know, to use Facebook a little bit, and that would have been enough, probably just a couple hours a day until my name gets gets to enough people and I start getting referrals. But I did, I started full time because I thought maybe, if I keep another job, then this thing is not producing results yet. So I just won't be focused on it, and I'll be focused on something else that's producing results. So I just put my back against the wall, and I decided to burn all the bridges and just go in full time. And first year did 2 deals. First condo sold to myself, second condo sold to my friend, and then there you have it. That's my first full year.
Well, this is crazy, right? I mean, you're talking about pursuing 400 transactions as you're in your first year. You did 2 deals, and both of them involve people you know very, very closely.
Yeah, but the thing is this: the 400 transactions are not going to be mine.
Sure,
this is going to be as a team, as
yeah,
a brokerage. That's going to be so. It's a little bit different, but still, to go back to like numbers, like the first year was 2 condos, total 180,000. Second year was 16, and then basically from then on it was doubles, 36, 60 something, and then 132, and that's when we were were like a little team at that point. When we had 132 deals, 2021, we were a team of 3 or 4. It was 4 of us, but primarily everything came through me. It was all through my cell phone, through my Instagram DMs, Facebook DMs, and I had my first baby was in July 2021, and at the hospital I was just on the phone all the time. So that's when I figured that that's something that I can't keep up with 130 deals a year, and that's when we started slowly building, and now it's right now it's 30 of us. But yeah, we've been growing lately, up to we are 30, 31, 32. So,
I mean, 30 agents. I mean, you're still talking about a production of like 13 deals a month. I mean, that's still 1 a month per agent.
Per month?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess,
Yeah. I mean,
it's
a solid business, right? I mean, agents can make a living that way.
That's brokerage is new to me. Yeah. This thing is, everything is new. I'm seeing other companies being run a little differently. It's more of like here's a desk, here's a phone. We're more towards the team, but we don't have 2 splits. We just basically a team with no brokerage on top of us. So it's that's who we are. So 2022 we did 222. Finally, like all twos, in
Right.
there. And then this year, probably, well, I'll be happy with 400. But we were on track, but now we're a little bit down based on my little board that I designed through Gecko board.
Yeah, gecko boards are pretty
It's
cool.
tied into the days on the days of the year. It's 33% of the year is gone based on my projection and how many closings we had. It's projecting, stuff like that. So I've designed it myself.
That's amazing. So you're a systems guy as
Board.
well.
Yeah, I'm kind of like something that I've been talking lately about. I have a little YouTube channel. I've talked about it, that I'm not an extrovert at all. I can turn it on when it's needed, but I'm behind the screen almost. I like to sit quiet, read the spreadsheet. That's my natural style. But when I need to go to a listing appointment, 3 a day is already, that's too much. I'm gonna be tired after that.
It's
So
surprising when you see these businesses build. A lot of times it is the introverted person that can be extroverted at times that scales a lot more effectively than just a straight entrepreneur energy person.
I guess I don't know. That's again, that's a new field. I know that for real estate, I thought that you got to be extrovert. And I remember that first year. I remember I even told my mom on the phone that I don't think I'm in the right place. I don't think I thinking that this is not my spot, because I saw that people are doing business with people they know, and I'm from Ukraine. I really don't know too many people, and when I started, my social accounts were at zeros. And I was just building that up, and I figured, there's a lot of Ukrainians here, so I'll just do business with them. But that had started happening naturally. I was just putting out some content, not even in Ukrainian, it was in English. And for some reason, it was attracting Ukrainian demographics that's in Chicago. They were reaching out to me, and then I thought, okay, well, I guess this is gonna produce some results for me, so I'll just do more and more of that. And I was sharing my content into Ukrainian Facebook groups to even put it on steroids a little bit, and it worked. And that's how I was able to to double it every year.
What percentage of your business would you say is Ukrainian?
Probably like 80 something. The
Yeah.
rest is me doing calls and mailers and stuff like that. With every time we sell something, I make calls around, send mailer, and some other leads that I have, like for sale by owners, probates, absentee owners. I make calls. Right now we have agent Sean. He's making calls. He's inside our office. He's making calls. I like a ISA. That's what you call it in the industry. He's
So
booking appointments.
when you hire your, agents on your team, are a lot of them end up being Ukrainian as well, or is it a little bit more of a mix?
It's a mix now, but in the beginning it was all Ukrainians in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because of my kind of brand, it was I was doing a lot of sales, and it kind of I was a little bit known in the community, and so when I opened up, I was a little bit reaching out, and some reached out to me, and so that's how we grew organically.
Yeah. I mean, obviously you're attracting the
Now,
people that you're around. And so if you're hanging out in those groups, you're going to get a
yeah,
lot of
but my
people.
goal is to make it broad,
Yeah.
like have different nationalities, and kind of, because I think it's I think mm, because I was able to get into that little demographics on my own and kind of see how I was able to break in. I think I can kind of help somebody else who is in a different from different nationalities. I can help them. Hey, I know how to do this. If you're like, for example, um, speaking other language, I know, go find the radio, because I was on 2 radios. I'm still on 2 radios, and I'm just holding the spot, so nobody can get in. And so every lead that comes in, we'll just give it to the team. So I'm just holding these spots, and I know these radios work because sometimes I go to like birthday parties or something. They say, "Oh, you that guy? Yeah, I'm listening to you on the radio." So that I know it works.
You mentioned the word little niche, right? And
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to do 300 something transactions, 400 transactions this year. 80% of them are, connected. I mean, that niche is like 300 transactions a year. I mean, like that's like $2 to $3 million probably in GCI. Like that's like, there's a valuable lesson in there that like, as you are able to, if you hit somebody with similar hobbies or all these, like, I mean, there's a lot of money in these potentially very small, pockets.
And I think we're only scratching maybe like 20% of a total, maybe not even of the total Ukrainian population here that's doing deals.
Yeah.
Because I know a couple other agents, they're doing 50 deals a year. So that's another 150 that, they're not with us. But it's I'm not looking at that little niche anymore. I just wanted to expand.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you got
There's
some big sites if you're doubling every year.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah, like Chris Lindahl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
So
know the
I'm gonna
name.
be
I don't know him
doing
personally, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a podcast with him. He's doing 4,000
Yeah.
transactions. He's 10x of what I'm planning to do. This guy is a beast. He's with his billboards and everything. Yeah. So that's somebody I wanna kind of pick his brain a little bit too.
Well, and that's the thing I love about business, right? I mean, like if you look at it, I mean, a guy running a team doing 400 transactions is an absolute giant to somebody who's coming into the industry. And yet
Yeah.
you can easily look around and find the person that's doing 10x of what you're doing, right? So it's never over. And even if you've maybe maxed out what you could do in your space, there's other spaces where guys make us look like haven't done anything in our lives. So it's one thing I love about it is like there's an unlimited untapped potential that we can work through. What's your vision for expansion?
It's always been 1,000.
Yeah.
It's always been 1,000 for now. It's the first thing was 100. There was a local guy on my market who has a lot of signs on the yards, and I've seen his face. He's got his picture on a for sale sign, and I looked him up, and he's done 100 deals. And say, if he does it, I want to do that too. It's possible. It's in my market. I want to repeat that. So as soon as I got there, I wanted 1,000. So I went to some trainings, to some different seminars throughout the country, and it's possible. Now it's in my brain. I know that it's possible to do. So for now, it's 1,000. Then I'll see what I want to do. But it seems like it's a couple more years. Depending on what we're gonna implement, because I'm also thinking, because I reached out to like a radio. Like I'm always living on a podcast at YouTube. I'm just sitting there, and all the time I'm just in there. So there's different models that you can go by, but I'm noticing that one of the avenues their big teams are doing is also radio, TVs, and billboards. That's for seller generations, for like cash offers. And that's something I'm thinking about. But I even reached out to the guy who does radio, and he said maybe I was too early because that was last year. He said, you're not ready yet. That's what I liked it, because he was honest. He wasn't just looking for the money, but he told me that you're not ready yet. Call me after a year or two, see where you are, and then we can talk. But he kind of asked me lots of questions. So that's maybe that's something we're gonna be like. I know Chris Lindahl does it, so maybe I'll pick his brain on that. But that's good for seller generation. Like right now, our sellers are coming from cold calls, Google, and mailers. 3 pillars. They're bringing sellers, and my referrals, my personal, sphere, and people that bought with me, sold with me. That's our listing inventory.
Have you done all 4 of those the whole way through, or did you like master one pillar a year?
When I started in the business, I was doing calls for sale by owners. That was the first thing I was doing, and I was getting some listings, and then videos started to bring buyers, so I just focused on buyers and left the cold calls, and then I went back to calling, but not. I wouldn't say that I was calling. I'm not very consistent with calls. That's why we have Sean, who is an ISA, who's making calls consistently. But it's always mailers I've always done. Every time we do a sale, we always mail. But Google, I did the Google page. That now Google starts to work because I have a lot of reviews and a lot of pictures there. But local service ads also works. Google local service ads. But you have to have a business page that's established, and then they're gonna turn, kind of qualify for the local ads. But I'm not getting too many from the local ads. I have a budget of $2,000 a week, I think, or 1,000 a week, but I'm getting like 1 call probably a week, maybe, and sometimes a couple other calls, but those are vendor calls. Those are not real calls, so it's not really like a big avenue for. But the mailers are doing good. Mailers, I'm seeing like 10x on my on my spend on mailer. Like every time I sell, if somebody's listening to get some listings. Every time we sell something, we send out like 200, 300 mailers. I'll get a call from that. Maybe not right away. Sometimes it takes a couple months. Maybe people hold on to that. But recently we just sent out 300. We got 2 calls. Maybe one listing's going to be because one sold off market. I just followed up yesterday with them, but it's okay.
And that's just listed, just sold postcards.
Yeah. I've tried to add generic. Like I've sent 5,000 mailers with a generic thing. Like, hey, market's good, this and that. There's a lot of buyers. Just let me know. Didn't work. But when I say I sold something next door, that worked.
Yeah.
Kind of, and then also like for the mailers that say, I have a buyer and the buyer's looking for specific stuff. Like you be specific. Like it's a young family. They're looking for 3-bedroom townhouse in your area with a basement and 2-car garage. That is good. That creates calls, and maybe you can sell it to your buyer, or if not, then you got a listing. Maybe. That's a good way too.
When you do just listed, just sold type of mailers, are you mailing each person around there once? Or are you hitting them more than once?
Sometimes a couple times, but usually just once.
Yeah.
But sometimes we do it maybe twice. You can program it. We use Remind through MLS. You can put it there, like mail it in a couple weeks again. But I'm not really farming that little area. I'm just hey, if anybody's thinking, I'm the guy.
Yeah.
I got a top dollar here.
Nice. And you kind of mentioned being introverted and not sure about real estate, not sure if it was a fit for you. What ended up pushing you over the edge?
To start turning on the extrovert when I need it.
Yeah, just becoming an agent in general.
It's tough to answer. I was doing something else. I had a little trucking company that I was running, and I knew it's time to sell it because I need to change the old equipment to new equipment, and that would take. I have to go into debt, and I knew that I don't want to stay here for a long time, so I just closed it. Real estate kind of happened. It was multiple things. First, I was into YouTube and watching, people talking about real estate investing a lot. So I was attracted to investing. And then my girlfriend, now she's my wife, she said, I'm interested to become a realtor for some reason. And she kind of went to some office here nearby, and they invited her to a Christmas party. She doesn't even have a license yet, but she's invited to a Christmas party. She takes me with her. And they're talking over there, old realtors, they're talking about financial independence, money, like it's all things that I like. And I'm like, maybe I got to be associated with these people. And that's how it kind of started, getting a little into my head. And like, maybe I should become a realtor first, and then I'll be investor. That was like my goal. I would never wanted to be a realtor full time. I wanted to invest and just have 100 condos or apartments, and that's it. And that's I'm retiring, and that's it. But it just I went into sales and started, and I did not know that I will have to do what I need to do. I thought it's going to be much easier. It's going to be leads laying on the floor. I'm just going to be doing sales, and it's going to be much easier. And then I figured out that, and I even asked the managing broker at that time, how do you get leads? He said, well, open house, floor calls. And I'm like, yeah, but I need consistent flow of leads every day. And that moment I realized that I have to start generating them. And yeah, that's when I realized that I got no business, that I just sold everything over there. I got this full time. So it's either I figure it out, or I have to start changing now, or get the part time. So I figured, okay, I'll try. And I wanted to learn all the avenues. Like I wanted to door knock, I wanted to cold call, I wanted to know how to network, how to do videos, all these things. I need to figure it out because I need to become a mixed martial artist of real estate. I need to know everything. So, but you don't have to. Really, to sell 50 houses, you can only have one avenue that's working good. That's it. You don't really have to push yourself and think too much about it. Just figure it out. One thing that works, keep doing it. Referrals will feed you, and a little bit of maybe money behind it will speed it up. And but I figured that I also took courses on communication, multiple on sales, multiple on opening up, how to talk to strangers, how to start and finish conversations, how to talk on your feet, when you ask the questions, like a little bit of a humor classes, bunch of stuff I took. And that's what now sometimes I see like, oh, I can use this here, this would work. It's a and always improving skills when in front of people. But again, extroverting thing is sometimes I have it like I am in the mood, I want to talk, but most of the time I'm introvert most of the time.
So you probably really enjoy the study of all these lead sources and how they work, like being kind of behind the scenes. You're at home
Like an
watching YouTube.
engineering, yeah, how it works, why it works, yeah. I guess maybe that's something that is helping me. I don't know. Maybe that's something that I'm using to my advantage, um but if you're extrovert, this is like a natural game for you. Like if a listener wants to become a realtor, but sometimes extroverts have one problem. They don't listen, you know?
And they don't stay in one lane.
Yeah. Oh yeah, shiny object thing, and you
Oh,
just start. That's right. Yeah, that's another problem they have to deal with. I got a problem that I need to, always turn myself on and like, oh, I got to be active here. But yeah, for extroverts, you gotta listen. You gotta shut up. You gotta listen. Let the person speak and speak and speak. And sometimes all you have to do is just shut up, and they fix it all for you. They'll tell you everything, and you just nod your head. But yeah, but for the extrovert, that's tough.
I mean, that's really what sales is, right? I mean, it's just being quiet long enough. I mean, obviously asking questions, but being quiet long enough for them to tell you what it is they want, and you just hand it to them, right?
Yeah, see, like today we were at the listing appointment. One of our agents was with me, and and what I was going through, like the seller, she had a little bit issue, and I felt like maybe selling and buying, she's not going to be able to do because of some issues for the mortgage, and she was kind of transparent. And I start asking her questions. What would happen if you aren't able to approve for mortgage? Are you still selling? Are you sure you want to sell? Why don't you keep? You have 3% interest rate. All these millions of questions. And I was just dropping questions, and she would just talk, 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 lay down everything we need to know. And, it was just very open communication, very intimate. Everything is, but I was just running through different scenarios, and I wasn't talking much. I was just, just asking questions. And really, for the hour of our time, I was just, maybe, just whenever she had a question, I had to answer. But most of the time, it was just me just giving her scenarios. What would she do if this happened? Because I don't wanna answer that while we are on the market. I wanna, fix everything up front, and then if we end up going to the market, then it's smooth after that.
So you got your
You know?
eyes set on 1,000 transactions. I mean, you've
Yeah.
mastered multiple lead generation sources. Money's probably becoming less and less of even a thought at this point as you're continuing your success. So, like, what does the future look like for you? Like, do you see yourself in the game long term? See yourself going somewhere else?
In the beginning, I thought the 100 condos will finish it. Will be what I want to do. And then I thought it's 100 houses a year, but it keeps being boring. So I don't know. I can't answer that. It's like I have an eye on a company that's big here in Chicago that has 30,000 transactions a year that's doing. So maybe there.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. It's I don't know. I can't say because I can't relax. Like even if I go on vacation, I'm still thinking about real estate and
yeah.
still brainstorming. So it's either it's something I can't turn off. So I don't know if it's ever gonna be like I'm chilling. Let me take it easy.
Yeah.
I don't know yet. It's probably gonna come with age maybe, but so far we're just pushing. We just warming up.
I talked to somebody earlier today that travels to Croatia, buys property in Croatia, and it just gets
Yeah,
me thinking a lot about from time to time I interview people from that do invest overseas. One of the things she mentioned today was the pace of life in Croatia is so different than here in the States. What is the pace of life like in Ukraine, and what are maybe some
yeah.
of the either character traits or things that have served you well coming from Ukraine?
And pace is slow in Ukraine. Okay, it's not like here. It's just my parents just came from Ukraine for a couple months, so you guys are nonstop here. You can't relax. You always have some plans. It's always like so busy here. Over there, it's just. you can survive with no job because everybody's got garden, everybody's planting, everybody's got tomatoes, potatoes, everything. So the pace of life is it's much more enjoyable and slower there. What I brought from well, I got a couple things from my parents. I don't know from Ukraine. I don't know if I got language. That's helping me here because the Ukrainians are buying with us. But a couple things from my dad. He's a doctor, and I've always since I was a little kid, I watched him pick up phone and talk to patients. And the way he's talking, so I see that in myself. I see that I'm just copy of him. And my mom is a teacher, so I think that teachers are doing good in real estate. So I guess I was just born to be a realtor, you know, just a little piece from there, piece from here, and then I put it together, and I'm selling houses. Yeah, so like it wasn't hard for me. It was like a lot of brainstorming in the beginning to get good in sales, in the real estate, but then it it's a piece of cake. If you want to break it down, it's just such a piece of cake. You just want to stay in top of mind, use all the technologies as possible, emails, Instagram, Facebook, stories, reels, all of it. Just get out of comfort zone, put it out there, and the one thing that I can say, like if you're looking for clients, buying sellers, then and same thing maybe if the investors are looking, if you're looking for like a properties to buy or to get in touch with wholesalers or whatever, content like putting out content will be the solution because they will reach out to you because there's a need. There's like if the buyer wants to buy and seller needs to sell, there's going to have to be an event happening, so they have to take charge and do something about it. So they will reach out one way or another. Um, so this is like I mean, in the beginning, I was listening to some content, and they always been saying the social media is good, but what's the bridge? How do you build a bridge between content and the client? You don't have to. It just happens naturally. So that was something that I didn't know in the beginning, but then I figured I'm not doing anything. It's just they reaching out because that's how it is. I guess that's how it works. So really, it's just it's no challenge anymore. I don't know how they used to do it without social. It's a lot of calls that you have to make every day. To how do you stay on top of mind of your sphere? Just have to keep mailing them. Probably that's expensive. Without electronic signature, you have to keep driving around with a pen. Takes a lot of time. So right now, it's just so easy. So what was I lost my train of thought. Sometimes that happens.
It's all good. Next question I have for you is, what is the craziest transaction you've had so far?
I didn't have any, I had one at the closing table where we were negotiating a essential vacuum lid on the bottom where where my client was making a big deal out of it. And when she found out that the time is running out because it's already 5 o'clock, it's Friday, and her truck is full of stuff and she wants to move in and it's only 5 minutes left. She was like, okay, forget about it. Let's sign, husband. So that was like a little funny, but other than that, everything was kind of, I don't know. It was a normal deals all the time. I don't have any stories where I walk into the house and the dog is jumping on me like I've heard before from other agents. I don't know. It's just regular deals.
Yeah. So you've mentioned a couple times on here, things have gotten fairly easy, maybe a little bit boring. Are you the type of person that's comfortable with boring, or is the fact that it's getting so easy kind of stirring something different inside you?
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying that generating a client is figured out. Process is unwrapped. I understand this process. It's generating lead, no problem. Even attracting quality lead to make a call or DM you on social media. That's just takes content. Just put it out, and be creative. That's it. It's not growing with just beyond your own capabilities. I know how I can sell 100 houses, but it's consuming all of my life. So I need to figure out something a little bit that I can help somebody else, go from 0 to 20 or 20 to 50. That's now my thing. I like that, like giving somebody, like we do trainings on Wednesdays and Fridays here. So on Wednesday we go deep into goals. I like to kind of maybe I can just say one word that it's gonna help shift the mindset, or maybe like, oh, this is great. This is so good. Like I had to listen to a couple hundreds of different podcasts episodes every day to get that into my brain, and I would like find what works for me. So I know I have all that knowledge. Maybe I can share. So that what drives me now. Boring. I know it. It's like I thought it would be so much easier if I could be just accepting boring. This would be my life would be so much easier, but it's just I can't. It's just how it is. The brain's not stop. It always wants to push itself, and it is what it is. I have to live with it. So now it's always goals somewhere on top of goals, and um, sometimes I don't even remember, where I'm at, what time it is. It's just ridiculous sometimes. I just have to be present a little bit more. That's my challenge. I have no hobbies. That's another problem. I got no hobbies. I like UFC. That's it. It's only like couple Saturdays a month that you have a good shows and nothing else. No hobbies. That's another problem I got.
You're all in, man. Oleg,
Okay.
thank you so much, man, for sharing about your life and your business and just making it look, I know you said it's not easy, but making it look easy because you're focused obviously on the right things. You've doubled every single year. So guys, write something you learned from the day, whether it's just how he's quickly mastered these lead generation channels, how maybe his mindset is telling him, hey, I could do this. This is easy. And maybe that's why it's seeming so much that way. But write down something you learned, share it with somebody you know so they can hold you accountable. This freedom's acquired one action at a time. And if you take steps day by day, before you know it, you too will be living a life of freedom. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next episode.